that would be anything that is illegal. Anything that's illegal, administrators need to be the ones who are making judgments about, are we contacting the law, or do we press charges about this? But beyond illegal things, it really is a discussion between you and the administrators. What behaviors are in a category, not that I must send, but that I could send to you without having done anything first? For example, a physically dangerous act. A physically dangerous act is one that I think you need discretion to be able to handle on your own or to send to the administrator if you felt that it needs administrative level intervention. An example, you're a primary level teacher, you see a kid who is about to sit down and you see another kid who starts to move a pencil over to where she's about to sit down. You intervene, you prevent any injury from taking place, you pull that kid aside and you talk to that kid. You need to make a determination. Was this some kind of willful event, or was this a kid who truly just had no knowledge of the potential ramifications of the actions? But clearly a kid who overtly attacks somebody, you need administrative support for something like that. So that's probably, your administrators would say, if it is putting somebody physically at risk, you can send the kid, and I will not ask, what have you tried first? I think there's another category. What can I send if you and I have worked it out in advance? In other words, if you've got a kid who is exhibiting chronically disrespectful behavior to you and you have tried a number of ways of correcting it, you tried discussions, you tried parental contacts, you have since started implementing a consequence of time owed, but every day this kid is owing you for 5 infractions that were really quite overtly disrespectful, I think it is reasonable to go to the administrator with your data and say, I'm willing to keep doing this, but it doesn't seem to be working. Should I send this to you at some point? But then you're kind of on the same team, and also make sure you know your administrator's perception of what things should you never send to the office. Because some first-year teachers don't realize they may be viewed as a weak teacher if they're sending too many things that the administrator considers to be trivial. So just make sure that you get on the same page. And within the book, there's an example of discussion points. In other words, this behavior. Is it a can send, must send, don't send at all? And the book doesn't take a position on any of those. It doesn't say this one should be in this category, this one should be in this category, this one should be in this category. But if you don't know your administrator's perception of these things, schedule an appointment with him or her and sit down together just so that you're on the same page. The other thing that I want to suggest about disciplinary referral is that you are very careful to always write an objective description on the referral. And sometimes you can be emotionally engaged, and if you aren't careful, you can end up writing conclusions like this kid was obnoxious. Obnoxious is a conclusion and it's a judgment call. What behaviors did the kid exhibit that you considered to be obnoxious? Don't even use the word obnoxious, just go, she did or said these things. Actually, my favorite referral that an administrator ever showed me was one that he got from a teacher that said, I was yelling at the kid and he yelled back at me. I kind of liked that one. You want to have objective descriptions of the behavior. So take a look at that section and just use that to identify, are the administrator and I on the same page? If we're not, then let's set up a plan to sit down with the administrator and make sure we get on the same page. So to conclude chapter 3, know what level of structure you want to set up at the beginning of the year. You need posted rules. Correct rule violations gently while kids learn your system, and then have mild consequences that fit the infractions of mild infractions.